Obviously, it's part of the progression, and there's timelines, but just how big is it to see Comrie back out there now?
It's very nice to see Comrie. He's a big part of our group personality-wise. Obviously, he's been around the game a long time and is evolving, I think, rapidly, and we look forward to getting him back, and the sooner the better.
I mean, realistically, he's on the ice, but I mean, that's still a week or so or more, right?
Yeah, it's, for the medical team now, there's a lot you're going to know day by day. You got to, the last phase, because of his position, much different. Lots of up and down, lots of lateral movement, lots of pushing, in the lower body area where he was injured. So flexibility, range of motion, and strength are all things you don't want to rush him back until those are good or close to 100% that he's comfortable. So he's getting in all those positional movements now through practice, and each day the training room can get the information they need to give us as coaches what it's. So he's day to day now, and we just don't know have a target date yet.
What is the challenge of playing this team in this building, and how excited does the group get for games like this?
I think our group's very excited. I mean, we like to play a pace game. This team loves to play a pace game. This thing, I think they set the precedent of that, and it presents a challenge, but I think it's something that is really good for our guys. You do have to play discipline against them, not only from the standpoint of penalties, but discipline in how you play and respect them in a certain way. But if you give any talented team too much respect, you're in trouble. So it's a balancing act that you need to gain experience in. Unfortunately, there's no way to learn it but to go through it. And hopefully we can build on our last game against them, where I thought we did some things well. But now it's their building; it's a little bit different.
You got a couple of goals the last 3 games from Oloffson, and that line has given you a few things. How has he rebuilt his game a little bit here in these last 3 games compared to the previous 5 or 6?
He just keeps pushing, and he's elevated and continues to elevate his intent, his compete, his details are getting stronger. So I think he's simplified his game, and then the goals are a result of that. I think prior he was, offensive guys are just trying to think offense and play offense right away, and then you get caught in a funk. And chasing a game or chasing situations and not feeling good about your game. So I think he went right back to simple, basic, and hard, and he's finding success in that.
Have you seen Kale Clague's game progress as the season has gone on?
It's progressed. It was a lot to ask of him, I think, systematically changing, playing the style we want to play. But he's proven to be a very fast learner, very intent upon his own personal success. So he's dialed in. You meet with him, you talk with him, you do video with him. He's on it, and he can go out there the next day and apply it, or the practice and apply it. So really like where he's at now, and it's a credit to him. Like I said, that intent that he's had through the process.
What's the overall challenge of this trip? Stanley Cup champs, even though they're minus guys, top team in the West, and a place no one's ever played before.
Yeah, this is the NHL, so it's amazing how many tough games there are through the course of a year. But our guys are enjoying. I think if I reflect on the last 3 games and the LA game specifically, you had to play and respect that LA was denying us offensive opportunity. That was their system itself is focused on denying offensive opportunity. I think Pittsburgh came in a 2-game set and really focused on denying offensive opportunity for us. So when that happens, you don't get to play the game you want to play. At the table set, you have to play the game that needs to be played in hopes of breaking the other team down, where you can then get to your game. In the LA game, that didn't happen until the 3rd period and even the 3rd power play. But once you get up by 1, it pulls them out of that defensive structure. We couldn't do that with Pittsburgh. So my point is you're learning how to play in different situations. This road trip is a different situation now. You have to, in my opinion, survive the first 10 minutes. You have a lot of altitude issue the first 10 minutes while guys' breathing acclimates. Just make sure you're still in the game after 10 minutes, that you didn't dig yourself a hole that's tough to come out of. But, this team is probably not going to hunker down like we just saw the last 3 games and try to just stop you. Now the challenge is to be smart enough to keep pace with them and not give them much in turn of you taking advantage of maybe opportunity that is there. So we'll see how that goes tonight and move on to the next 2 afterwards.
Tyson Jost was just saying the way guys are hungry to get better here reminds him of being here a few years ago. How refreshing or how positive is it to hear that from a guy who's been in both situations, I guess?
It's nice when you have a guy come in your organization, especially from Colorado recently, and see and feel that right away. And he's communicated that consistently, which is nice. We've seen that too. Just if you just look at where we were less than 2 years ago to the date, and where we are now today, just as far as even production and skill development and confidence that in the direction we're going. We're still going a direction. We're a long way from arriving where we need to be or where we're going to be. But I think our guys are very focused, and back to what Tyson said, he can see and feel that these guys are immersed together and going the right direction, which means they're getting better every day, and that's all we're about. So it's nice to hear that.
Not to single Jost out, but it's probably going to be an emotional night for him. Have you guys had any conversations about utilizing that emotion or not?
We have not. Tyson's played a lot of games. I know it will be an emotional night, but he's still a young guy, but lots and lots of experience. So I think this will be a lot, potentially a lot of fun for him. But I know he knows a job needs to be done to get to that fun and to get to any fun you may have, and I think he's dialed in with that.